Go live. We're live. I'm live. You're live with me. Being live on the mat. Drop down. Hey. All day, all core. It's only 30 minutes. It's not that bad. We are going to do some mobility in today's class as well. Cheryl's not here today. She's on mom duty at an arena somewhere. I don't even know. You kiss them goodbye and then they come back at night. That's just how it goes. So I set up a couple mats just for myself. You guys don't need the double mats. It's just so I can kind of flip back and forth on some of the positions today. So there's a girl named Christine, and I will be messaging her after because she is just on pause saying, like, where are your virtual Pilates classes? I miss them. I want them to come back. I know Bridget, she was asking for them too. Cindy. So I'm going to just send them a little private message to let them know that we are throwing in a little bit of Pilates today, a 30-minute class. Pilates is core. It's core to extremity. So even if you are moving your arms, moving your legs, doing all that stuff, you're still focusing on core strength. So make sure you're comfortable. Pilates is kind of fun. I really like it. It's not yoga, right? It's not traditional strength training for core. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So you do get some of the, the mobility and flexibility that you do get in yoga, but I always equate it to a big face punch. Pilates never fails to deliver with the burn. I also want to say that if you do find yourself kind of sitting in the moves and they're getting a little bit uncomfortable, maybe through your low back, that you can just kind of drop 1 foot, 2 feet back down to the mat, take a little bit of time to recover, and then try and pop back in. So it's Friday. You are 3/4 done your program after you finish this. We have 1 more week. So week 4 happening next week. We'll take that week break and then come back with the holiday hustle, which is a completely different format. We're doing 3 days a week in December. The programs are a little bit longer. So we're going to get a little bit of creative juices flowing during that time. I'm going to scoot over to here. I'm hoping that everything is working. Up and through. Not sure who is joining us on the live right now. Again, let me go here. And here. Oh, I can see myself. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to disconnect. You guys are so patient. I know. I usually have my wingman Cheryl here so she can check the volume up for me. There we go. We're fine. I can hear myself. I can see people coming in. Trish is here. All good. Good morning. Thanks for touching base, Trish, and Kelly Voss on the live. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. I'm going to get a timer going, kind of in a different format because we're not going to be really regimented in the timing of this. It's more related to your breath patterns. I am going to get us stretching a little bit, though, just before we start. So again, we still have another couple minutes. I got some good black coffee going on here today. So hopefully you've been enjoying the series up to this point. Again, what would you like to see, right? What would you like to see coming up? I know that I spoke about doing a couple kind of like specific classes where we're bringing in certain type of equipment. And I know not everybody has it, but some people do. So if you do have that type of equipment, we can jump on, do a little bit of a different workout together just to kind of mix stuff up outside of the dumbbells, mats, and benches. So we're going to get started in about a minute. So if you're able to, I'm not sure. Some of us, we can't do these crouching positions. So if you want, you can always sit on a chair or go into standing position. I've just positioned our camera down because I am going to be on the mat the whole time. But if you do find that this kind of kneeling position is tough for you for whatever reason, knees, ankles, or you just don't like it, you can always go into standing position. I'm going to reach over. I'm going to start our timer just to make sure that we stay on track today. So again, thank you for joining us on a Friday. So if you are standing, I want you to stand up nice and tall. And if you are able to kneel, you're kneeling with a chest that's up and open and not crouching front forward. So this is my left hand. I just want you to put your left hand either on the ground if you are kneeling or just towards the ground if you're standing. Just take that right arm, and I really want you to pull over and and get a nice deep stretch. I'm supporting myself with my left arm. If you feel you want to walk it out a little bit further to provide support, so I want you to feel a nice deep stretch from your hip all the way up into your armpit scapula. Again, just stretching out the spine a little bit. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, pull that arm back to center. And we're going to put that right arm to the ground. Left arm's going to shoot up. Again, you can go out a little bit wider if you feel more stability. And I just want you to stretch. So I just want you to think about your spine right now. Right, we're just opening everything up. You might be a little bit stiff from the week. I know I woke up this morning and my triceps were like, yowie zowie. We inhale, we exhale, we pull out of that move, and we're just going to transition to a little cat-cow. So again, I'm going on this way with my blue mat. So on the wrists, if you can, on the hands, if not, on the elbows, knees around your hips, we're going to scoop the tailbone, pull up that low back, that middle back, that upper back, gaze into belly. Reverse it, team, with an exhale, gaze up, belly to floor, and then booty tucks up. Reverse that wave-like oscillation, tucking your tailbone, and then allowing the rest of your spine to follow up. Reverse it by looking up, pushing your belly in and dipping out your tailbone. Last one, roll it. Feel that nice deep stretch in your spine, gazing into your belly. And then you're going to exhale, gazing up, and then coming back to neutral spine. Awesome. So I'm just going to get us to transition now to the mats. Now, if you guys do have a hard time doing a roll down, not a big deal, right? You can always put your hands to support yourself while you're rolling down. I'm going to try and precursor the moves so you kind of know what we're getting into. I'm going to ask you to inhale, holding your spine up nice and tall to the ceiling. So see how the spine goes long. As you exhale, Kel, I want you to tuck your tailbone, gazing front forward, and try and lower one vertebrae at a time. So that's one little piece of your spine, and then come on down, making sure that your head is on the mat. Push those rear shoulders into the ground. So those are the ones that we worked on Monday with the back. So you're going to feel your scapula onto the ground and your chest open. I want you to open up your fingers, pushing your palms deep to the ground, and extend your arms straight forward. I'm going to ask you to inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, I want you to start to bridge your rib cage together. And on the next inhale, I want you to try and keep those ribs together, breathing more up into your chest and your lateral rib cage. Your feet are on the floor. Your rear shoulders are pushed to the ground. And I'm going to get up because I have these like crazy ribs and they flare out. And they're just the best example if you are a visual person of what I'm trying to get you to achieve. So I want you to stay on the mat, right? It's like you're putting a girdle on and I'm tightening up your strings and you're holding your waistline strong as you take a breath in. And as you exhale, all the way down to your pubic bone to try and brace your belly. So while you're working on that, I just want to show you. Again, Trish asked me if I was in an accident at one point because my ribs are so funky, right? Okay, so here's the visual. No shame. So anyways, my ribs are not even equal. So normally, if you're breathing, your ribs are going to open up, right? So watch this. So see how the rib cage expands as the diaphragm comes up, and as I exhale, see how I lose those ribs, right? So when I inhale, they expand. You see the abs engage as well. So that's the visual. So hopefully your ribs don't flare out like mine do, but I have to really brace my core to keep my ribs in nice and tight. If I kind of lax it out, my ribs really expand up to open and through. So that's your visual. Hopefully I don't give you nightmares, right? Things you can't unsee on this virtual platform. Let me join you there. Let's get started here. You're going to inhale. As you exhale, pick 1 foot, 2 feet into tabletop. So that tabletop has your knees over your hips. And for the next 30 minutes, I need you to keep working on exhaling all that air out. During all your moves, I'm going to cue you as well to exhale to a movement and inhale to a movement. So keeping it slow and steady. Again, we're going to start with single toe taps down. I'm going to ask you to inhale, keeping your head on the floor. As you exhale, your right toe comes down to the ground, pivoting from the hip. And then inhale, pull back up. When you're ready to exhale, left leg pivots down. And then inhale, pull back up. So I just want you to focus on that movement right now. So as you exhale, that leg is going to come to the floor. And as you inhale, it's going to come back up. So listen to the breath. So that's the first thing that we really have to focus on in Pilates, right? I'm doing a classic Pilates class today where I'm using the breath to movement pattern versus when I do my rhythm classes, we kind of play around with that breath to movement a little bit more and we move to the rhythm of the music that we're bringing in. While you're pushing that leg, or lowering is probably a better word, to the floor, I want you to make sure that your lower back isn't elevating off the ground. And I want you to really focus on trying to exhale all that air and then inhale, pull back up. While you're doing that too, can you make sure that you're maintaining a 90-degree bend in the leg and that you're pivoting from the hip and not bending from the knee to get the toe to the floor? Awesome. Let's stay up and we can give that a little bit of a tug. If you're getting a little bit of a burn in your hip flexor, I want you to really focus on trying to exhale all that air to really engage your deep core and not use the connectors of your legs to your hips. Let's come on back here. We're going to inhale when we're ready, pushing those rear shoulders in, 2 toes tap down, and then inhale, pull back up. So again, that's our movement. This is a lot more advanced. Even though we're focusing this, I often do these moves as a warm-up. They're nice and slow and controlled. They really make the team really focus on the breath work. And I mean, if you are, comfortable hearing your own breath, if you're alone, maybe you're with other people and you don't mind hearing your breath sound, I really encourage you to try and get comfortable hearing your own breath because it makes it a lot easier to honor that breath and then follow with the movement. 2 more. Exhale, drawing the ribs nice and tight together, right? Everything's nice and secure. One last one. Push those rear shoulders to the floor. We're going to exhale. And as we inhale, let's come on up. And again, bring the knees into the chest for a little bit of a stretch. Right on. Good job. So again, the next pattern in this series is to pop back up into tabletop when we're ready. We're going to inhale, exhale, curl head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Right? We're going to inhale, exhale, right toe taps down, and inhale, pull back up. So again, your movements are going to be absolutely different than mine because your movements are yours. I think that might be Tori. I can't remember if your circle is blue or not, Tori. I will check afterwards though. So one thing that I really want you guys to do is make sure that you're trying to get your bodies up as high as you can off that mat, right? You can start to feel it warm up a little bit. Right on. So I know that 30 minutes of core might have scared some people when you saw that number pop back up. You're like, didn't we do 30 minutes already? We did. And I'm going to tell you that 30-minute core out of this series has gotten over 600 views. Some of the other classes are still in double digits. So people are looking for a nice bulk of core. So what we wanted to do today was bring back some Pilates, show you that this is a great way to make sure that your front, middle, and low back are getting a great workout. If your neck is getting tired, hands come up, but then head falls into hands slightly. I want you to be pinching that core nice and tight. One last one, starting to get a little bit warm on this series. Cross the ankles, head to floor, knees to chest, and really take those in. And again, you can rock from side to side. I'm going to pop you guys back up into a tabletop position again. So knees are over hips. Heels in front of knees as we inhale to exhale to pull them up nice and tall. We inhale, exhale, 2 toes tap down. So again, if you guys can't get all the way down to the floor, it doesn't matter. The big thing I want you to engage is your core and make sure that the low back is not pulling up off of your mat. Again, the gaze is not up to your ceiling. It is in towards the pubic bone, lower belly. And again, take those fingers if you can. As those legs come down, make sure that core is nice and strong. And really make sure that you're getting all that air out. When you're ready to inhale, pull back up. Now again, shoulders are down, shoulder blades are pulled out and backwards. Right? We don't want to curl everything in towards the pubic bone. We do want the spine curled, but try and keep your chest slightly open. Let's cross those ankles, bring them back down. I'm getting warm, guys. I don't know about you. That's a great start. We're going to pop into our first 100 series after this. So let's go back into tabletop 1, 2. I'm going to ask you to inhale as you exhale back up, curling head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. So our arms are extended, our shoulders are down, and our chest is open. Our hands are going to stay rigid, and you're going to be moving from your shoulder. If your neck gets tired, hands behind the head. We're going to inhale to exhale for 5 and 5. I want you to keep trying to pull yourself up, up, up. Those abs are already burning. You guys want to start? Let's go. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 10, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 20, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 30, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 40, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 50, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 60, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 70, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 80, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 90, inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, and cross it and drop it, right? So a little bit of a stretch here. Again, I love rocking from side to side, pulling those knees deep in. I would usually keep my ankles crossed, like in a nice kind of controlled knee splay, and just draw those in towards my armpit. So how was that? Hopefully you're getting a little bit more, right? Awesome. Can we put 1 foot, 2 feet onto the ground for a second? Just push our shoulders into the floor. I'm going to ask you to pull your right foot and cross it over your left, okay? And then try to push that knee out away from your body. So it would look like this if I was coming at you in this direction. You got her. Telephone's ringing. Don't worry about that. We're not answering. We're working on our core here. This is my right knee and my left foot is on the ground. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. We're going to place our fingertips behind our head, keeping our elbows splayed open. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, let's roll that left elbow into the left knee, and then come on back to center without dropping our head. We're going to exhale and inhale back to center. So again, working on the obliques now. I really want you to focus on folding yourself over and really trying to hover above the ground for more. Exhale. So there's not a lot of distance that we are traveling on this, right? So I really want you to travel nice and slow and squeeze it out at the end. 2 more. And then we're going to stay in the up and over position with that left elbow towards our right knee. So last one. We're going to exhale, bring it up to hold, and we're going to pulse through for 16 beats. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, pulse. Halfway. You're going to inhale to exhale, bring it down, rest your head. Inhale, exhale, right foot down. Inhale, exhale, left foot up. Push the left knee out. Good job. We're going to inhale, exhale, curl it up to center. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, pushing that left knee away, the right elbow is going to come up and through. And inhale back to center to hover. So while you're doing this, I want you to stabilize your hips. So don't allow that right hip to lift off the ground, making sure it's pushing in. And that's going to really make sure that you're focusing on rotating through the core and not by elevating that hip or low back off the ground. So we inhale back to center, 3 more. Exhale. You guys may get a few less reps in, which is perfectly fine, right? Our breathing patterns are different. Last one, let's keep it up. We're going to inhale, 16 pulse. 6 more. We're going to inhale, exhale, bring it down. You got her. Put your knees to the ground. And I'm just going to get you to tug those knees into chest, crossing ankles or not, whatever's working for you guys. And again, rock slightly from side to side. We're going to place 1 foot, 2 feet down, pushing the rear shoulders into the ground. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, 1 foot, 2 feet to tabletop, right on. Inhale, exhale, 1 leg, 2 legs straight up. Doing your best to marker your ankles over your knees, over your hips. I know some of us are kind of at this level of flexibility. If it's too much on your back, just hinge your legs a little bit. Single leg swap series. I'm going to ask you to inhale. As you exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders high, high, high off the ground. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, pull the right leg into the forehead. Left leg goes down to swap. Listen. So as the legs come in, you're going to exhale, pulling that leg into a stretch, and then using the leg to actually get the torso up a little bit higher. So hopefully you're feeling warmth in your stomach right now. One more single pull, and then we're going to pull twice. Watch this. Swap. And again, I want you guys at home to try and make your lines as long and as clean as you can, right? And again, I'm taking that leg at or around the calf, pulling it for a twice pump. And on each pump, there's a 2 breath out. We swap. You got her. How's your core feeling right now? You got her. One more double pump on each side. You're almost there. You're going to come on up, cross it, and rest it. And I really want you to focus on your Pilates. There we go. My bandana has my mic on today. And really try and keep things controlled and your lines long and clean. You guys are doing awesome. 1 foot, 2 feet down. Let's just kind of massage out the spine for a sec if you don't mind. Remember what I told you before? Marble in pubic bone. I know. Visualize that. You're going to move the marble from your pubic bone into your belly button by pushing your lower back into the mat, and then peel your spine up, pushing through your heels and pads of big and little toe. And then roll it back down, right? So that's the movement that we want. We want to push. Let me move my arm here. See how my low back is pushing into the ground? And then it is peeling up. And we are trying to move and connect that low back. That's always the hardest one to connect. So we're in neutral spine. We push that lumbar curve into the mat, pushing our rear shoulders in, pushing our palms deep, rolling that back down. Right on. Give me 3 more. I really want you guys to start to get movement in your hips again. So you have that forward and back movement, right? Again, I know that as we age, we start to lose mobility, right? Flexibility, and just that supple kind of movements that we used to have when we were a little bit younger. So we really want to make sure that our joints, especially our hip and pelvis, are able to move in a healthy manner. You got her. Can you stay up for me for 1 sec? So while you're in high bridge, you may be thinking, oh, well, we're going into glutes and hamstrings. Well, we are a little bit, but remember how I showed you my ribs? I don't know if you can see right now, but they're starting to splay outwards. We need to make sure we're holding that girdle even when we're in high bridge. So I really want you to make sure that you're not allowing your ribs to float out. It's almost a natural thing when we elevate. So we got to lock that back in. And I want you to inhale and exhale. Now we're going to drive our hips up to the ceiling for another 100 count series. So we're going to pulse for 5, inhale, pulse for 5, exhale. So right off the bat, and I know you guys know I put you in the positions and I talk through it. I hope that you're squeezing your hamstrings, your glutes, and that your low back feels healthy. If it does feel a little bit punched, just drop your hips slightly. So let's take an exhale, pinch the ribs, hips up to ceiling. We're going to inhale and exhale and pulse. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 20. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2, 30. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2, 40. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. Halfway. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. 60. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. 70. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. 20. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. 10 more. Inhale, 2, 5. Exhale, 2. We're going to inhale, exhale, roll that spine down, right? Just a little bit of low back, hamstrings, and glutes thrown in there. Again, if you can just kind of push the low back in and then bring it back up, just kind of massaging that low back into the ground. And then let's bring you back to cross the ankles and just draw the knees into the chest. Awesome. You guys are killing it. Everything's pretty much warmed up right now, so I'm pretty comfortable to move you guys into your second 100 series or your front core. Now we can modify through this in many ways. Instead of extending both your legs out at the same time, super straight, you can extend them with a knee bend. You could go straight, but more so up and down, or you could choose to do one leg at a time. And when you're at 50, because you guys know I'm gonna talk for you, I'm gonna count it for you. You can always exchange it to the other side. So they're saying, like, what are you talking about right now? Those of you that know me, you know this is an elevation to extension 100 series. So let's push our shoulders deep to the ground. I'm going to ask you to inhale, pushing through your palms. You're going to exhale, pull 1 foot, 2 feet, and we're back into the infamous tabletop. This is where it gets tricky, and we're going to have to see where you're sitting today at home. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, I'm going to ask you to elevate as well as extend. So our upper bodies are off the ground, and our lower bodies are off the ground as well. This is where you might want to put 1 foot. Maybe you have to lay back a little bit further on your series. So I want you to pull those shoulders back. Try and keep your arms running parallel to ground, and don't let your wrists or your elbows get noodly. Okay, so you're going to push that air down. It's the same count. I know I'm keeping you in this, aren't I? I'm so cruel. It's the same count that we've done before, where we inhale for 5 and exhale for 5 up to 100. I want you to make sure your low back feels okay. Let's get started. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 10. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 20. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 30. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 40. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, halfway. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 60. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 70. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 80. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2, 90. Inhale 2, 5, exhale 2. We're going to cross it, roll it down slow and steady. How was that? How did you make it through? What did you have to do to modify? Whew, rock from side to side. How are you guys doing so far? Pretty good? I know, even working in these front forward, so much lower back, right? So much flank. You might even be able to see it kind of popping when I'm holding up those V's. If Cheryl was here, it would be a great day to dissect her core. She's carrying such a great conditioned midsection. It's so great when she gets into core exercises because you can literally see all the muscles that are working. It's amazing. I love it. We're going to do some teasers here, please. So again, pushing your shoulders into the ground. I'm going to ask you to come back up into that V position best you can, where you're going to inhale to exhale to extend, and then inhale, slowly roll back down with control. Okay, so let's talk about this. I want you to bring yourself up as high as you can, and then focus on those lines on that leg. You're still rolling and peeling your spine up and off the ground. Okay, slow and controlled. If it's a better way for you to come up like this, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're not going to get caught in any sort of a pattern where you're doing things incorrectly if you're not doing them how people say. No, not at all. Because you know what I've come to realize? Sometimes the thing that we've been doing for a really long time that we thought were the best, actually are not the best. I know. Somebody comes along and says, hey, why don't we try it this way? And we're like, no, we don't do it that way. That's not a good way. And it's actually a way better way. Right? So anyways, you guys do what you can on this one. On the next one, I'm going to ask you to come on up. And we're going to bend into a boat pose. Okay, so again, our shins are running parallel to floor. Maybe your boat pose looks like this. It's okay. Maybe your boat pose looks like this. It's okay. We're trying to run our shins parallel to the ground. Palms are facing in. And I just want you to hold that there for a breath count of 8. I want you to bring the exhale back into your tummy. And how hard is it just holding our bodies in space sometimes, right? Holding the agency in society. How tough is that, just holding our agency right now? 3 more. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. I'm going to ask you to exhale, roll it down, and again, pull those knees in towards your chest. Rocking slightly from side to side. I'm going to ask you to flip over. Well, it's not a real flip. It's more of a roll, recovery roll. Bringing it up and through. And I'm going to ask you to join me for a 1-minute plank. Okay, so again, this will be our last exercise. Kind of want to see where you're sitting on these planks right now. You can go elbows, hands, knees, toes. Let's show on this side view. You can also attempt the plank on the wall, right? So we're going to make sure that everything is locked. Tucking your tailbone, arching the back. You can do this on knees as well. You can also do this on elbows. You can modify having one leg straight while keeping the other leg on the ground. We're going to start, okay? And we're going to try a 1-minute plank together, and then we'll move into a little bit of stretching, and your core is done. How's that sound? We're starting in 5 seconds, making sure that your hands, elbows and shoulders are underneath. And let's pop it up. Okay. So my feet are together right now. Okay, watch this. This is like booty up. You know when you get that back dipping in a plank like this? No, tuck it and then squeeze it right on. So again, my wrists are under my elbows. My elbows are not super straight. They have a soft bend in them. How's your plank going? Look between your hands. Okay, and again, pull your shoulder blades out wide. Keep rolling your tailbone around and through. Okay, trying to flatten out that low back. Inhale to exhale. Almost there. Making sure that your neck feels okay, right? Your shoulders feel okay. We have about 10 seconds left on this. And then we're going to drop down to our knees. And then we're going to hit a little bit of a child pose. 3, 2, transition 1, 2. If you're not already there, let's go wide with the knees. Kiss the bum to the heels. Extend the arms front forward. And allow your head to rest on the ground. Allow your belly to fall through your legs, getting a stretch on your inner thighs. You can walk yourself over to the right knee with your arms. Again, getting that elongation that we started class with. My left arm is vibrating right now, holding me up. Going back to the center, supporting ourselves. And again, pulling around and through. Walk back into the center and just push yourself up. Let's stay on all fours for a second here. This is my right arm. My right arm has tattoos on it. My left arm is over here. You can drop down to the right elbow, and then with the left arm, if you want to feed that through, allowing your head to fall to floor and getting a nice twist and rotation. You may notice my head's floating on the floor a little bit. That's just because the mic puff is right there. So I want you guys to rest your head on the ground and then get a nice twist, gazing up to the ceiling. Again, just to stretch out the back a little bit. Inhaling and exhaling and pulling that arm through on the exhale. Let's switch it up. My right hand is going to go under my left. I'm going to sink down into my shoulder and gaze up towards the ceiling. So just be mindful, again, if you do have issues with your shoulder, you might want to just kind of terminate on the arm and not sink down that extra depth onto the shoulder. Getting a nice twist in the spine. You can feel it in my rib cage as well. Inhale to exhale to pull it up and through. And then again, just push yourself up into upright position. You got her. So again, if you want to stay on the mat, I'm going to ask you to do one more side stretch with me. If you want to stand, you can do that as well. My left hand is on the ground. My right arm goes up, and I'm going to stretch. Pulling everything open. Those muscles along that spinal cord did a lot of work for us today. Come on back up. Drop the right, left goes up. Big stretch. Open it up. So I hope you were challenged in some of the moves today. A little bit different, right, than the weighted stuff that we do or the standard stuff that we normally do with crunches and bicycles and Russian twists and all that stuff. So 30 minutes of core on a Friday. We have 2.5 hours left together next week to finish off week 4. I hope you had a great weekend. I think I see Kelly Voss typing here. Whoa, that's awesome. Oh, this will not be your Achilles heel. This will be your whatever superpower is, you're going to have the best core. Again, I really love Pilates. I love classic Pilates. I love rhythm Pilates. I love it all. I really believe in how it helps us strengthen our deep core muscles. So thanks for being patient. Non-traditional core today. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheryl will not be back Monday. She's working. I'll be back Monday, and then we will see you guys on Tuesday. So stay safe. Great job, Trish, muscling through. Such a warrior. See you guys later. It was Tori. Hey, Tori. I can tell by your little blue dot, girl. See ya.